Hello, everybody. Welcome to our latest Spotlight show. This is James Freeby with Social Distance Live, and today we have two very special musical guests, three if you're counting individually. Late for the Train, which is Dave Pascoe and Laura Benson, and then Leigh Jones. I'm going to bring them in, and then we will talk further. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our latest Spotlight show. This is James Freeby with Social Distance Live. Here's everybody. And today we have everybody. Two very special musical guests. So three if you're counting individually. Leigh Jones, thank you so much for joining me for the first time. Dave Pascoe and Laura Benson. And Dave and Laura, you've been here before. Welcome back.
Thank you for having us.
So today, as everyone who's watching knows, has been a pretty crazy day here in California. But it's also been crazy up in Oregon where Leigh is. So, moral of the story is it's pretty crazy. So, thank you everyone for helping us share this show, because I know that a lot of people have a lot of things going on, but I'd love to be able to bring some music and some happiness into people's lives as best we can. So, if you're watching, please share the event. Please comment. I will do my best to check out the comments and respond to you. And yeah, it's going to be, this is a little bit of a throwback. Back in the day when I started Social Distance Live, I was doing this concerts via Zoom with multiple people doing live shows. And I'm kind of excited to bring it back. It's just nice to be able to actually be putting the live in Social Distance Live. So thank you so much for doing that with me, guys. First piece of news, which I think is really exciting for anyone who doesn't know, is that Dave and Laura have a new album, which was just released on last Friday for the apocalypse. I'm sure it's called like something like Apocalyptic Rage or something like that.
It's called Just in Time now.
Just in Time, yeah. Before there's no time left. How about that? Yeah, and Leigh, I know Leigh from working with her on our Undercovered series. Josh Windmiller and I do an Undercovered series where we cover bands that need to be covered more, in our opinion, basically. And Leigh was most recently there for the Bjork show, and you can find all of the series there. And yeah, you did a great job, and it was awesome to have you.
Thanks, it was so fun. Love Bjork.
Yeah. So Leigh, I don't know you personally. Really, I haven't met you in person.
Never met in person.
Yeah, which is a strange.
I bet we will someday, though.
I believe we will. That's one of the exciting things about doing this is, I feel like I'm getting to know people, even as strange as it is. I mean, just through the recurring Undercovered series in particular. There are some people that I almost feel like I'm friends with now that I have never met before, which is very strange. But so a little bit about your history, though, Leigh. You started out in North Carolina, is that right?
That's where I'm from, yes.
Yeah. I hear good things about North Carolina. I have a few friends who are from there.
It's got a lot of charms.
Uh-huh. And then, did you move out? So you were a member of the band Crow and Canyon, right? You were, yeah. And did you move out as part of the band, or did you find them when you moved out?
No, the band started pretty soon after I moved here. So before I moved to Portland 6 years ago, I lived in New York City for several years. That's where I went to college and kind of started playing music. Moved to Portland in 2014, met the folks who were to become my bandmates in Crow and the Canyon, and we kind of formed in spring of 2014, pretty soon after I got here.
Cool. And it seemed like I was looking at your music and looking at your guys' history. It seems like you did a lot of stuff for about 4 years there.
Yeah, we were a band for 4 years,
yeah.
And we got to travel around quite a lot, and yeah, had some great experiences.
Yeah.
Released one album. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was, you guys describe yourself as bluegrass, right? That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like modern bluegrass.
Sweet.
There's a term newgrass that some people like to use, but I don't know if we want want to be described as that.
Newgrass sometimes, but a friend recently labeled us as cottagecore, and it made me happier than anything I've heard in a long time.
I think
That's very unique. I've never heard that one.
yeah, I think that kind of makes sense to me. I think Dave, you might be in danger of being too fancy though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry to jump in.
Oh no, that's the nature of the Zoom. Okay, great. So what we're gonna do is go back and forth a bit, and we're gonna maybe experiment with having the bands talk to each other, interview each other, ask some questions, and they have a little bit of shared history, which we can jump into as well, a little serendipity. So Dave and Laura, would you mind kicking us off with a couple of songs? Are these going to be from your new album, or are these going to be just
No,
other?
we're gonna save that for a little bit later. We have. Well, yeah. So thanks for mentioning the album. It's called in sincerity. It's called Plant It or Build It, and yeah, we're really excited about it. It's been a long time in the making and a long time kind of waiting to be released in this strange times. But we're actually going to start off with one not off the album, and it's one that's kind of about these strange times, called The Flowers of Yesteryear.
Great.
Kind of important.
We have a video live audience. Hey, Jamie.
Hi, good to see you.
And that's Dave's mom.
Yes. Take it away, guys.
She's also part of the live concert experience tonight.
All I want is to run around outside, go dancing where I like and breathe the free air. This winter may be longer, it is springtime in my mind. There's sweet smells on the vine mingling with your auburn hair. Well, wake up, another morning's come and go, but I must believe this emptiness will someday soon be gone. By day, we are waiting for the thaw, for the flowers that we saw way back yesteryear. And night by night, things grow heavy with the frost, but we know not all is lost if we can keep alive the cheer. Well, wake up, another morning's come and go. This sorrow and this solitude won't linger here for long. Yeah, I must believe this emptiness will someday soon be gone. Sun burns low as I slowly find my way to the words that I must say, but I don't know when. The westward glow, looking through the evening haze, I can only count the days till I see your smile again. Well, wake up, another morning's come and go. I cannot help but hope that there will be a brighter dawn. This sorrow and this solitude won't linger here for long. Yeah, I must believe this emptiness will someday soon be gone.
That song was weirdly literal today, being in the Bay Area. strange.
Yeah. I had a real hard time with there not being a morning. Like it was very
Hopefully tomorrow
strange.
there will be a brighter dawn, Jamie.
I'm
Literally and figuratively.
holding out hope. Yeah. That was beautiful.
It's not on the album, but given how the more we play it, the more apropos it feels. Like every single time, I think we'll have to put a video out or something so that it's out there in the world.
Totally.
Yeah. Thank you.
This next one is one that is on the album. And for folks that are watching, I think we're gonna do a couple, and then we'll pass it over to Leigh, and then we'll kind of trade these all night long.
That's right.
This is track number 2 on our debut album that just came out. This one is called Feeling Again. And it's of a different nature, but also hopefully is a little bit encouraging in a sometimes dreary world.
Definitely. Just want to shout out, PayPal as well. There's PayPal on the screen, and that goes to both the artists. So, thank you.
Thank you. Clocking early, always leave late. Coffee hot in the morning, warm bed, but you can't hesitate to jump into that river of red dots on the road. Get a head start, hurry, before the traffic takes away your flow. But if I can be the first one, and maybe they'll see, I'll get that big promotion, it'll finally set me free. Push a couple of buttons, stand alone in a box. I wish the walls were windows, feel your stomach drop. Walk out to that skyline, the first act has begun. Got an open floor plan, but I still can't feel the sun. But if I can be the best one, then maybe they will see. I'll finally stop my motion, and I'll take some time for me.
Heaven is not a place to go to, it is right within your soul. Each moment's kiss, let go of and go. Hold on to this feeling again. Feeling again.
Scribble notes at the meeting, but don't remember what I said. But crunch a couple of numbers and let the buzzwords swarm around your head. Keep seeking that freedom below the signature line, and get your inspiration. 140 characters at a time. Second cup of that coffee, extra sugar, no cream, and your 11th hour, losing a battle with the screen, or just a little bit longer, skipping dinner for snacks. Well, tell my doctor I'm healthy, as I slowly start to crack. But if I can keep on smiling, and maybe they will see, I'll get that recognition, and I'll finally get some sleep. own audience.
That's great. It helps a lot.
Maybe everyone should have a mom on hand for these.
Yeah, for sure. That song makes me so sad and happy at the same time.
Yeah, that
yeah.
was so lovely.
Thank
I like
you.
that one.
Thank you.
So, Leigh. So
That's me.
Yeah. So you're gonna play us a couple songs? Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Where's the best place for people to find your music?
Great question.
Mhm.
There's not a straightforward answer, but I would say the best answer at the moment is 5letterwordband.com. I'm in a band called 5 Letter Word. I say that though we haven't done anything since March, but we're still a band, and that's kind of my most recent material can be found on the album that we released last year. So yes, 5 Letter Word Band.
Which is called the album. The album is called.
The album is called Siren.
Sweet.
Yeah. And we actually hung out with Dave and Laura on tour about a year ago.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll tell you some stories about that later in the program.
The album is wonderful.
Yeah,
Aw.
fantastic band and fantastic album, both of them.
That's very sweet. All right, I'm gonna play a song that's brand new. I
Awesome.
finished it at the very beginning of quarantine. It goes like this. Hello lover, hello friend. Don't know when I'll see you again. Though I have stamped an envelope, you will not be receiving the snow. Ours is a tie that cannot bind, so I stay ever gentle on your mind. You hold the key to my front door, but I'll never see inside yours. I'd send you a letter if I knew that it would be delivered to only you, but you don't live alone in apartment 3 of 170 Delancey. New York feels like home to me, and all at once a fantasy, not unlike these stolen nights, impossible and impossibly right. I'll look you up next time I go, hoping you're not out on the road. Though I know come closing time, you'll go your way and I mine. I'd send you a letter if I knew that it would be delivered to only you, but you don't live alone in apartment 3 of 170 Delancey. I know come closing. There's a man a mile away, wishing to make bright my day. I don't have the heart to let him down, 'cause you took it with you when you left town. And so I write down 14 lines, having to do with warmer times, leaving the surface barely scratched. That's how I keep you coming back. I'd send you a letter if I knew that it would be delivered to only you, but you don't live alone in apartment 3 of 170 Delancey. I'd send you a letter and more besides. I'd let this loving out from where it now hides, but you don't live alone in apartment 3 of 170 Delancey. I'd send you a letter if I knew that it would be delivered to only you. You don't live alone in apartment 3. No, you don't live alone.
Woo!
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thanks. That's a song about not sending a letter, which is the opposite of what everybody should be doing right now. We should all be sending letters and postcards and things and supporting the United States Postal Service.
Here, here.
Because we
True.
want them to stick around.
True.
Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da. I'll do one more before we go back to Wait for the Train. I'll do a song that I wrote last year. It's kind of a sad one that I wrote from the perspective of a friend and former coworker of mine. He's a person of color who got attacked on the street on his way home from work late at night, like a year and a half ago. And when he told me about it the next day, like, he had a black eye and he had tears in his eyes, and it was just really heartbreaking and disturbing and infuriating, and I felt helpless to, do anything about it, but I was really touched by it and moved by it, and felt inspired to write this song for Carlos. I feel like an old man at age 59, so far from home. I've done more than my time, but the family keeps growing, and money's tight. God knows when I'll ever be done. The number of years that I've been away equals the number of grandkids that play in pictures that sometimes get sent my way. I miss them, though I've not held one. My back, how it aches underneath this brace, but I'm only as good as my dishwashing paint's got this brand new shiner upon my face. Guess I'll know next time to run. You, where do you come from? You, where do you go? Underneath this braid, I've been working for 7 hours overnight. Don't have it in me to fight. That one simple rule we're all taught to live by has been tarnished beyond a point you recognize, but you might find some gold if you put in the time to ask me, what is your name? Look in my eyes, see the tears coming out, and tell me that we're not the same way deep down. Our hearts need more love than they're getting right now. No wonder we both feel afraid. You, where do you come from? You, where do you go at night? I've been working for 17 hours overnight. Don't have it in me to fight. Oh, you, where do you come from? You, where do you go at night? I've been working for 17 hours overnight. Don't have it in me to fight.
Thank you, Leigh. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like in this time of isolation too, it's I don't know, it's making me reflect on that kind of sensation of realizing what other people are going through. It can be so easy to get stuck, even without social distancing and without all the things we're going through, get stuck in your own experience and be walking right by people and not thinking about what they are going through. And so in a weird way, I almost found that at times anyway with social distancing, it makes you reflect on the nature of your own isolation, and
Big
it makes
time,
and it makes you think therefore about like everyone else's isolation and everyone else's experience. So in a weird way, at times I feel like it actually opens up something where you reflect in a way that you wouldn't if you're actually able to interact with people in a normal way.
I've been doing a lot of self-reflection this quarantine, I'll tell you what. It's been good for that, there's been time to do that,
Yeah. Thank you, Leigh.
Yeah, thank you.
So how did you meet Late for the Train? How did that
Well. They have a bandmate who was in a band with one of my bandmates. A part of their band is Tom Beneducci, and then
She isn't here tonight.
yeah, and then Audra Niemer is one of my bandmates, and Tom and Audra used to be in a band together in the Bay Area back in the day.
For a hot
And
minute, I
so
got to be in it with them for just a brief bit.
Oh, yeah, okay,
Audra
gotcha.
To this awesome band called Crown.
But we met. So our band 5 Letter Word did a show with Late for the Train in Montana last year, and I guess just like apocalypse is a good theme for us together because last time we played a show together, there was just this massive like surprise downpour, and we had to end the show early because there was a big thunderstorm, and we had to like cover all the equipment. It was an outdoor show, and we had to cover everything with tarps and run everything inside, and but we made the most of it, and we stayed up drinking and making merry despite the show ending early. And then today it's like in California and here in Oregon, it's so smoky and apocalyptic, and that's just our theme, I guess. I don't know. Like, I want to keep doing shows together, but I don't know if it's good for the world.
It's really fun though. Like
Yeah.
the half show that we got to see of y'all's in Montana. That was my favorite night on tour. Was just hanging out
It
till
was
4 in the
so
morning.
fun.
And
It was so cool, and there was, since it was outdoors, there was it was one of those like plains thunderstorms coming in, and there was one song that 3 of you were singing about storm.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like these 3 women singing the song. I think there were drums and a bass, a
We
violin.
summoned it.
Yeah, and then we would look, and there were these flashes of lightning in the distance as y'all were
Yes.
singing, and the wind started kicking up, and we were like, "This is
whoa, some light show.
This is
powerful
eerie.
music happening over here." But I
Yeah.
promise you didn't summon this one. Did I?
If only I had the power to like dissipate, like
Yeah.
put
Yeah,
out
totally.
fires.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta give you all some major props because we showed up in our 2 cars. Neither of them that big, but in our 2 cars, we had a bunch of like sound gear with us. We were setting up our own sound for a couple of kind of house showy or like community concert events. But y'all showed up with a stand-up bass and the 3 of you in a yard in a
Yes.
Prius.
Prius.
And
that's
It's
That
one of
blew
our
my
main
brain. That
points
was
of
like-
pride as a band is how much stuff we can pack into a Prius.
Oh, it's a fun game, and
Like-
you won.
Yeah, 3 people, an upright bass, 2 guitars, a fiddle, all of our camping gear. We do have a car top carrier, but we fit, 3 people and 3 people's things inside of a Prius.
Props.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
It's props to us and also props to the Prius too, because
Yeah.
Go buy a Prius now. No. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Laura and Dave, do you want to play us another song and then we'll kick it back to Leigh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep the apocalypse theme just rolling right now and play a song about last year's fires that also now is somehow feels about this year's fires. So we'll bring you back up eventually, but thanks for coming down here with us.
Really? I think all of our songs tonight are kind of sad songs.
It's appropriate anyway. So
Okay, yeah, we're
Yeah.
creating the.
Right.
It's okay to have emotions. Okay.
yeah.
$9.95 in the glove box, a week's worth of water and a dozen cans. Last year we had nothing, but I'm trying to be a better man. You gotta fill up the tank while the pump's still running. Checking with your mom and your dad. Long strange days without power, but we don't really have it bad. I never used to watch the weather. I never used to pray for rain. Hope tomorrow will be better. Pass the day checking for updates. Spend the night listening to the howling wind. Finally get to know your neighbor. They got a generator running again. Everybody's shutting their windows. Everybody's making a plan. 3 steps ahead, then a question mark. Fire is a fickle friend. I never used to watch the weather. I never used to pray for rain. Hope tomorrow will be better. Hope tomorrow is the end. Embers on the wind. No telling where they'll land. Knock, knock, knock on the window. Wake up to a neighborhood of flashing lights. Never seen the streets so busy, least of all in the dead of night. You gotta spray on the roof while the kids get ready. Pack all you can in the car. No time to think about your destination or listen to your breaking heart. I never used to watch the weather. I never used to pray for rain. Hope tomorrow will be better. Hope tomorrow is the end. Hope tomorrow is the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird to play that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, well, as you say, it's appropriate. It is. I feel like those oohs are new, Laura. You did some new
I'm
oohs.
experimenting with some ooze.
Yeah.
Dabbling.
Things happen when you're
When you're trapped inside.
duo for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. They're nice.
Ooze.
Nice oohs.
What'd you think?
About the oohs? I think they're good. I think they
I think you
They
should
add.
keep them.
yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
We're a trio now. It's the two of us and some ooze.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. Leo, are you ready if we kick it over to you?
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Okay.
When did you all record your album completely before the shutdown?
We did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
We
recorded
were-
it almost a year ago now.
Okay.
Which is wild. We recorded it in November, in like mid-November of last year,
Mhm.
in a weekend in Big Sur, which is really awesome.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and like converted this house into a studio, and then we're ready to release it in like May, June.
Yeah, even before then, we're still waiting on vinyl, as is not, I don't think, it's a common story.
Mhm.
But yeah, we recorded it mostly live, and yet then a year later we're finally we finally have it out.
A few
Yeah.
things happened that were more important than our music. for
Just a
while.
few little
Yeah.
things got in the way.
That's crazy. It's weird because time is just distorted, right? Like I feel like it's been no time and a lot of time. I remember hanging out with you guys and you, Dave, you driving off in the middle of the night. When at the same time I was driving off to go and like do mixing, and that feels kind of like yesterday, and yet like when was that though? Like that was been.
was like February, yeah.
I guess yeah. February is like both yesterday and a millennia ago, right? It's exactly February. It's that February in particular. I feel like that's the one.
What a naive time in our lives.
Right.
February.
Right.
February.
February. Yeah.
Dang. Well, I was just listening to y'all's record right before we got on the video earlier, and it's so lovely. I really like, I think it's the third song, the ballad that's like Call Me Blue. Is that what it is?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
We
I
might
love
sing
Yeah.
that later. Thank you.
Blue is great.
I love
Yeah.
well, I mentioned my band 5-letter word earlier, and I'm gonna do a song that I wrote, but that is on our 5-letter word album. It's called Hold Your Own. When you walk around wearing red
Thank you, Leigh. Awesome.
Thanks.
All right, so we're halfway home. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is Leigh Jones and Late for the Train with a Social Distance Live Spotlight. I'm Jamie Freebury. Want to just shout out these shows that Social Distance Live has upcoming. This Sunday, we're going to do a Billie Holiday cover show. And it's going to be really good. Not only because Billie Holiday is really good, but also because we're going to have an extra host. So it's going to be hosted by Josh Windmiller and also Stella Heath, who has been for several years doing a project called the Billie Holiday Project with a band. She performs Billie Holiday songs in amazing style, brings the whole kind of she brings a lot to it. You should see some videos. That's called the Billie Holiday Project. So she's going to be, she's sort of co-curating and co-creating, and that's going to be amazing. And I'll just sit back and press buttons, and they'll do a great show. That's going to be this Sunday. And then next Thursday, I'm going to have the Witch and the Wizard, North Bay band, who's been a part of Undercovered a bunch, a duo. They're going to be on the Spotlight next Thursday at 7. This Spotlight was a bit weird being on Wednesday. So back to Thursday with Witch and the Wizard. But now back to Leigh Jones and Late for the Drain, who are doing an amazing job making us feel slightly more connected and slightly more human in this strange time. So thanks, guys.
Leigh, I really, there's a line, you know there's a spark left in you, and that's what will let you continue or help you continue.
Mm-hmm.
That just, I don't know. Fuck yeah, right now.
That's awesome. Cool.
Yeah. The irony is it's a bit about fire again, because it kind of connects back to one of your lines from your Embers song, guys, which is just that fire is a fickle friend, right? I love that because it brings up the fact that fire is such a positive in our lives, and so like we have this metaphor of spark, and light, and that's connected to fire, and then we're also here being like, the fire, make it stop.
Fire, but not too much.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys' songs intersected that way, and Leigh, I just love your style of singing where you kind of like hold back and then soar. You do such a great job of modulating that, so it's awesome. Okay, how do you guys feel about kind of unwinding where we go 2 songs Late for the Train, 2 songs? Are we good for 6 songs, or do we want to modify that?
6 is good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So let's do 2 songs Late for the Train, 2 songs Leigh, and then 1 and 1, and then okay.
Works for us.
Feel free to jump in and interview each other, like band to band, if you want to. I don't know. I don't want to
curious,
force
actually,
you to do that.
So in catching the first half of y'all's show before the storm came, it really felt like everyone was bringing their own material, but it also had a really cool cohesion to it. And I'm kind of curious what that like it didn't feel like individual songwriters and then band accompanying. It was like band, but each one of you really owned the songs you were leading. And I'm curious how you if it's different every time, or how you bring material to the group and kind of how you all tease it out together and what that looks like.
Totally. Well, when we first started as a band, we were just doing each other's individual songs that we had written by ourselves and then arranging them together. And then probably 9 or 10 months into being a band, we went on a retreat to Willapa Bay, which is on the Long Beach Peninsula in Washington, on the Washington coast. And we went there for a week, and with the intention of writing songs together, which we hadn't done up to that point. And the very first day of the retreat, we did this wild and crazy thing where we set the goal to write 20 songs in 12 hours.
Whoa.
What?
And just to jumpstart, rip the Band-Aid off, no inhibition, just first thing, best thing. So we got as far as 14 songs. And
That's a lot. That's
a lot of them were duds and will never see the light of day. But out of those 14, I think at least 6 or 7 of them were keepers, and we fleshed them out and arranged them, and I think 4 of them are on our album.
Wow.
And so we have like a handful of songs that we've co-written together, and so then after that our set became kind of a mix of our individual songs and the co-written songs. And then we have like a couple songs where we sing a cappella, and we like are kind of like evenly spread, but for the most part there's always 3-part harmonies in like every single song, but usually like one of us is singing lead and the other ones are more of like a supporting role. And yeah.
Brad, I really, this may be a question for later, but I want to re-listen to the album and be like, which ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple. Audra's a very prolific songwriter, and there's a couple that like I sing lead on a song that she wrote, and Clara sings lead on a song that Audra wrote, and so it's like kind of this.
Cool.
That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah.
One of the few times I got to spend with Audra, just the 2 of us hanging out, was down at Baker Beach, and we were just kind of trading notes on writing, and she was talking about either a prompt from a writing group or maybe just something that she had, I forget where the prompt came from, but what led to the cast iron pan song. Yeah. And but like it was so cool because there was such a strong idea. It was like write a song around an object. Like it's just all about the object, and you got to create the story.
Yeah, it was like the object is the protagonist or something.
Yeah,
was the prompt.
And that's like that prompt stuck with me for years, and then I didn't hear it again live until we saw you in Montana.
Yeah.
And it was I don't know, it was just a really cool like wait.
Yeah, there it is. Awesome. How do you guys tend to write songs?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, you just actually described our progression really well. Of like first individually, and then just kind of melding it.
Yeah. And then also from like songwriter camps or musical camp events that we've gone to is where like, I feel like most, maybe not most, but like many of the songs that we've co-written have come out of that experience, like getting away and being in that environment where you have that space and time and you're kind of like open and exploring.
And also kind of forced or like encouraged, strongly encouraged to write things, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
That's what you're there for. So
Yeah.
Actually, feeling again was a great, like the meta layers of it is we were teaching at a songwriting camp in Cambria, and like having an absolute blast. It was one of the most like heart-opening experiences I've had. But we're also extremely on the whole time, and like just like very, like anytime somebody wants to workshop for 30 minutes or needs help with this or that, like it was like our whole job was to be very, very available to people's emotional and songwriter kind of content. And so we had to like very forcibly like we're gonna go and we're gonna go off in the woods for an hour and we're gonna get a song of our own done.
This is our time.
Right. Yeah. And then there was a song about like being burnt out and wanting to rest.
but being burnt out of regular life.
Burnt out of the camp, was burnt out from other things.
Right. That's cool. Okay, you want to hit us with 2 more songs, guys?
Sure.
Awesome.
Let's do Blue.
Sure.
Lee, you mentioned this one, so we're gonna go ahead and do the ballad off the album. This one's called Blue.
I haven't sold it on Blue for so long.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Blue is the color of my heart.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you. I love that song. Yeah.
We're gonna go for another songwriting camp one, actually. This is the 4th track on our album. This is something that we still have a few left, actually. We released our album on Friday, and we have everything available. You can buy our album, the CD, or pre-order a vinyl, or get all sorts of fun, fancy merch at our website, lateforthetrainband.com. And we really wanted to, in the midst of all of this, we wanted to have the release kind of be paired with something to bring some hope and life for the future. So the first 100 orders of anything on the website, we're sending out California poppy seeds in little seed packets. And we just kind of want to send poppies far and wide, whether you're in California or not, just to kind of plant them, whether out in the hills somewhere near you that you love, or just in your backyard, to kind of have something fun to look forward to in the spring.
Regenerate, regrow.
Yeah.
This tune is one that we wrote at a songwriting camp up in Lassen National Park, and we were in a bit of a quarrel after the weather turned really sour on us, and it was dripping rain and then snow from the roof. I was sick, and I was getting Laura sick. I was sick from teaching little kids, and it was weird just having a jolly row in the midst of a good old storm.
Jolly row. A lover's quarrel.
and then made up and had a great weekend and wrote this tune out of it.
This song is called Timbre, and the timbre that we're referencing is the quality of the silence between two people in an argument.
It's really tense. Nobody's saying
Very
anything.
palpable quality of sound.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop, pitter patter on the rooftop. Hope this tin roof holds. A couple of feet away, and I can hear you shoot. Say a little rain won't hurt you, a lot of loving will. If you and I could stop our bickering with the weather, why this storm would pass, and we could lay here still. I'm wide awake. Listening. Ain't gonna break the silence till I trust that you'll meet me there. Night frost starts to glisten on the crossbeams. Places to explode. The crowds falling silent, but it feels we're in for snow. We've taken sides, we've drawn a line. This great divide is only a couple of 2x wide. Now I've always used my words to cross the mountains of your anger. Maybe not this time. Wide awake and listening. Ain't gonna break the silence till I trust that you'll meet me there. Don't be afraid of whispering. It's getting late and I can feel the man of morning in the air. dawn comes a creeping through the window. Sunlight hits our toes. Bitter silence takes a breath. Fades to morning stars. It's time to let it go. Hard to listen to your demons singing of the birds. Take a sip of water, sit up straight, catch my gaze and hold it gently. Slowly choose your words. I'm wide awake and listening. Ain't gonna break silence till I trust that you will meet me there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love both those songs so much. Those are definitely two of my favorites of your guys. And we talked about writing before. You guys did such a nice job asking each other about writing. I love the way that song kind of, sometimes really clearly and sometimes more subtly, blends together the emotional situation with the physical description. You know, the sort of evocation of just the difficulty of being, sleeping out in a cold place and having a cold and all the physical things of the rain and so on. I just like for example, this place is too exposed, right? It's like a sly, clear connection between the challenges, the interpersonal challenges that you're having, and the physical situation. So I love that the way that's constructed is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And just really, really self-indulgently, I love Blue partially because it was like the project that I first worked with you guys on involved Blue, so it's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Jamie, can we ask you questions about the Living Odyssey?
You can. I won't have any good answers. But
If some folks watching may or may not know that Jamie has been running a project for I don't know how many years, but how many
so
years?
yeah, since the fall of 2015 actually, but there's been basically since COVID, it's been on off.
And how many performances? How many shows have you put on?
I don't remember. I think officially it was 8, but it's really more like 11 or so.
So now with all the preamble, right? Jamie, not in the proper order necessarily, but Jamie has put on 8 or 9 different shows where he, as a solo oratorial performer, if that's the right word, recites multiple books of the Odyssey.
Storyteller, I think.
And like recites the Odyssey from memory. And in some of the shows, at least in the one that we were involved in, and some of the more recent ones, he has different folks kind of helping out with the music,
Yeah.
with different kind of let's say acting, but different kind of visual representations of parts of the story. It's
Yeah.
a really, really cool project. It's called The Living Odyssey. I for one, am always trying to. I dream of Jamie performing in like some wine villa where people come and stay for 4 days straight, and he recites the whole thing, and it's like this gala of Odyssey recital. But I hope
As long as you're there, that's
sweet. Yeah, I'll be the jester.
Yeah.
Full house.
I mean, the idea is to create like a tapestry between the. We were talking. I was talking about your writing, right, and the kind of the ways that the environmental situation intersects with the emotional situation, and sometimes it's kind of very clear and overt, and sometimes they more or less just sit side by side or even contrast with each other. And I wanted to do something kind of similar. I love that effect, and I want to do something similar with the story of the Odyssey, where sometimes you find a piece of music that kind of hits exactly the note that the story is touching on, and sometimes you want to find a piece of music that leads you in a different direction. So it's like sort of like branches of story that are going off from this one kind of sort of archetypical story, and I also use it as a way to showcase people like yourselves, and also to meet people like yourselves. This is where like Social Distance Live is my new Living Odyssey, and that it's like kind of just my cheating way to get to know people that I think make cool music. So
You're just online music dating. It's all good.
yeah, exactly. Okay, Cupid, play me some music. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for mentioning that. But yeah. Awesome. How are you feeling about playing some music, Leigh?
I feel good about it. Yes.
That's serendipitous.
Yeah.
Oh my, you have a guitar?
What?
I just happen to have this here, and I think it's more or less in tune. Jamie, the Living Odyssey sounds really cool, and I hope to see it.
I need to bring it back for sure.
Yeah. This song, speaking of like different songwriting, like camps and retreats and prompts and things like this, my bandmates and I went on another retreat, not the one where we wrote the 14 songs in one day, but another one where the goal was kind of to spend a lot of time in nature. It was like in the Coast Range, a little west of Corvallis in Oregon. And it was on this beautiful property with beautiful hikes and everything. And there goes my pick. I was just sitting outside and watching these little white specks just float through the breeze by me, like, you know, as if someone had blown a big dandelion and the pieces were just kind of floating everywhere. And I took that and ran with it. I never would have known that this would be the song that I got out of that image, but that is at the very beginning of the song, and that was like the impetus for the song that then became what you were about to hear. White specks on the breeze, a dandelion sneeze, a message that you sent.
Yay!
Uh-huh.
Thanks.
Thank you, Leigh. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
You've got Ooze in your band too?
Yeah, Ooze.
Ooze gets
some
around.
Oz. Yeah, especially playing by myself all these months during quarantine, I feel like I'm oohing a lot more because there's no other musician to like throw in a like solo line or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just oohing the solos myself.
That was gorgeous. That one kind of had the range of like a sax solo.
Okay.
It wasn't an ooh. But that last line you did was so beautiful. Where
Yeah.
You were like, ooh. Both of
Yeah.
us kind of went, whoa.
You just did an ooh though,
Amazing.
Laura. That was an ooh. Your imitation was an ooh.
It was an ooh.
Yeah.
Should we have an ooh off?
Uh-oh.
Maybe post recording.
You would totally win.
No,
I'm
nonsense.
not saying we need to try it now, but like you can harmonize via Zoom. You just gotta commit and sustain the note, and it's kind of fun. But
Totally.
It's fun
Really
beat.
slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though there's like a little bit of a lag.
Right. You just have to stay on the note. Right.
Okay. Right.
You can't go like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You can't like be singing lyrics at the same time.
Yeah. Right.
Totally. Cool. I'll do one more.
Awesome. Sweet.
This is one that I wrote earlier this year. While I was in New Orleans, which is one of my favorite places. Really like that city. This song is called "Here in New Orleans." Hello from where I am, way down in Louisiana. Happy birthdays all around to say, until I got to thinking about how nice it would be to have you here with me. Going round this crazy town, there's so much out there to see. The wildlife and the quarter, the colorful disorder, the atmosphere of drunken cheer, a thrill on every corner. They've got a real nice Mai Tai at latitude 29, but I'd drink anything long as you were in the bar stool beside mine. Come meet me someday here in New Orleans. I'll paint your nails purple, gold, and green. If you'd be so kind to cross your path with mine, I can't help but think we'd have ourselves a time. They say Frenchman's turning into the new bourbon. We should feel the magic here while it's still occurring. Old tree roots upheaving, sidewalks so uneven, walking free and constantly, right on the verge of falling. Come meet me someday here in New Orleans. I'll paint your nails purple, gold, and green. If you'd care to wind your wandering path with mine, I can't help but think we'd have ourselves a time. By water, hold me tight as the current has her way.
Thank
Some
you.
ooze for you.
Yeah. Oozing out.
I like to think that oozing out. I like to think that on that song in particular, if when I'm like singing a note and it kind of cracks or I can't quite sustain it for whatever reason, it's because I was out partying really late in New Orleans and drinking a lot and
Right.
and making merry and so my voice is just tired and that's why I can't hit the notes.
Yeah.
Like,
It's more authentic.
It's all part of the narrative of the
It's
song.
it's baked into the song.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think New Orleans is the opposite of Las Vegas. Like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and what happens in New
Uh-huh.
Orleans follows you everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah,
Hmm.
true that.
Profound, Dave.
Just voodoo stuff.
Oh yeah.
I've had some like spooky, like ghosty vibes in places that aren't New Orleans that have like been a New Orleans recall.
Mm.
Yeah, I know. Me and a friend walked through. Like, she was like, "Oh, it's just a great fun. Like, you just got to see it." But we were both kind of drunk and walked through one of the. I think it's the mausoleum. I forget which one is like the above ground.
The above ground graveyards.
Yeah.
I
And,
got
like, I've had a
locked in
couple
one of those once.
What?
I interrupted your story though. What's the rest?
I get occasional spooky flashbacks to that scene, but not like that.
Yeah, well, some of those places close like really early, like 3 p.m. And so I was in one in the afternoon, and you know, a lot of them are like big and like windy, and if you don't know what time the gate is closing and you're like far from the gate, you wouldn't know. So I like went to leave, and then the big iron gate was just locked. And so what I did was I climbed on top of some graves and jumped
Wow.
over the fence.
And somebody was like, "Ah!" as you jumped over the fence.
Yeah, I pretended like I was coming out of a grave and scared all the people around.
Yeah. Awesome. I've never been to New Orleans. That's probably why my life is so empty.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh.
well, you're probably healthier for it.
Yeah. I definitely have to go. And then, I mean, I was thinking about this actually during the song, even before we got into this conversation. I mean, it's obvious, but just how much both nature and travel seems to inform your guys' music. So makes me think like we need our nature and we need our travel. So hopefully we get those things back. But in the interim, it's been so beautiful to have you guys. It's like, you know, stressful day and just what I needed to feel like going on. So I hope other people feel the same way. But for me, it's been beautiful. And if you're watching still, thank you so much. You can donate and support these artists at the PayPal link that's on the screen. I'll divide it up between the two of them, or between the three of them, but in 2 ways. Complicated. And so please do that if you would like. And then the best way to find Leigh Jones music is probably a 5-letter word, band.com. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
And then
5 spelled out, F-I-V-E.
F-I-V-E. Awesome. Crow and Canyon is also awesome. As is, I've downloaded your solo album from, I think it's an older album. Is that
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
2012.
Yeah, I mean, you may think it's too old, but I think it's great.
Thanks.
So there's lots of music there, and you can find that on Bandcamp, which is where I found it, I think. And then Late for the Train you can find at lateforthetrainband.com, or is it lateforthetrain.com? Yeah. And they just had an album released, and they've got lots of merch, which is pretty cool. And I think that you guys have an upcoming show where you're gonna like specially merchify.
Yeah.
We do.
Jamie, you just reminded us how to be good performers and always mention the next show. That
Yeah.
doesn't happen these days, so I'm like, oh.
It's,
I forgot to plug your show last week.
yeah, I know. This is my way of getting you back. Yeah.
Check.
We do. We have a live stream on this Saturday at 2 p.m. And we're going to be streaming directly from the screen printing shop where all of our merch is made in San Leandro in the East Bay. It's going to be on marinadelive.com. The company's name is Brand Marinade, so it's marinadelive.com. And we're really excited about it. You'll be able to see, we're going to be live printing merch in the background. I think we're gonna do our shirts with some like special colors that are only coming from this show. If we were like a big deal band, it would be really cool. So it's cool that they're testing this out on us. But it's really neat. So you can see the presses go in the background. And then we're also going to be donating some of the proceeds to the SF Marin Food Bank. And we were given 50 food boxes from farms to families that we will be distributing afterwards. So if anyone
Awesome.
watching this is interested in helping us distribute some of those food boxes, it's organic produce, and we want to get them to as many people and organizations that can use them as possible. There's 50 of them, like I said, and there's only a few of us. So if you want to join us for that, that would be really awesome and really helpful to just get that out.
So everybody out there, I'll grab the
Lots
link.
for you.
I'll grab the link for Leigh Jones' 5-letter word, and I'll grab the link for you guys' website and also the show so that I can put it on the event page.
Cool, yeah.
And then also on the stream, after the stream is done going live, I'll put that information up there in the description so that people can find it that way. Okay?
Cool, thank you. Yeah.
Cool. So last song each here, and then we'll say goodbye. Late for the train, hit it.
Our last song is about nature and travel.
Nice.
It was a long night, and we slept out in the cold. It'll be alright, darling, we can worry when we're old. We'll watch the sunrise till sunsets on our boat. Hey, chumps, you realize youth is laughter, youth is stacking reckless stones. Sing to the summer, sing to the summer, here comes fall. Sing to the summer, and it wasn't always perfect, but we learned to face it all. Sing to the summer, sing to the summer, here comes fall. Soon to discover, even though it isn't perfect, you learn to love it all. Not a little. Perfect till it's not. Well, you gotta keep on living, keep on forgiving. Darkness undressed till ain't forgot. Snow at the campsite, 13 hours on the road. It'll be alright, darling, there's a fire in your soul. Mountains at first light, river rushing down below. Travel's the best road I can try. Keeps me humble, keeps me happy when I'm home. Sing to the summer, sing to the summer, here comes fall. Sing to the summer, might be rough around the edges, but I'll answer when you call. Sing to the summer, sing to the summer, here comes fall. Soon to discover that the road is always better when you're giving it your all. apart a little after a while. Gotta keep moving or you won't get caught. Think it's perfect till it's not. Well, you gotta keep on living, keep on forgiving. Darkness unaddressed still ain't forgotten.
There you go. A song about music and
Yeah.
nature and travel.
Yeah.
Yay. All the best things.
Yeah.
Jamie, thank you so much. Before we pass it back to Leigh, just thank you so much for having us and for putting this together. It takes an incredible amount of work. We've tried to do a couple of these on our own, and it's a lot of hours of planning and preparation and promoting and just organizing in general. So thank you so
You
much
do
for
them
doing
every
this.
week.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're a machine, but it doesn't go unnoticed or unappreciated.
I'm a noticed machine. All right, that's something.
We see you, Cog.
The modern day compliment right there.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Thank. All right, Leigh.
All right. So fun sharing this night with y'all. I'm glad we could do
Yeah,
it.
it's been beautiful.
Here.
Yeah, maybe next time we do a show together, it'll be a little bit less apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yes.
Person and-
No locusts or floods.
Yeah, and congrats on the album. Everybody
Thank
should
you.
go check out their album, buy it, buy their merch, stream it, all the good stuff.
Thank you,
You really
Um,
should.
And
I'll-
likewise for 5 letter word stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And your solo album, I didn't know you had a solo
Yeah,
album.
me neither.
Yeah, I think it's great. I love it.
It's vintage. It's
Ooh,
great.
there you go.
8 years ago.
Into your solo album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last one I'll do is a song I wrote right before I moved to Portland, like 6 years ago, and it's about my hometown in North Carolina. It's called Wilmington, and it appears on the Crow in the Canyon record. If you want a recorded version, it's called Wilmington. Put me at your door. I need to be reborn. It's been a while since my smile's been naturally warm. Put me in my place. Make me look you in the face. Shed a light so that I might see it all I'm grateful for. 'Cause I feel the pull of your charms. How I hope you'll open your arms and welcome me like family. My North Carolina 'cause I see you in the news. From toe to head, dressed all in red, it's giving me the blues. But it's just that kind of year. People giving in to fear. Though we're behind, I know in time we'll see which path to choose. 'Cause I feel the pull of your charms. How I hope you'll open your arms and welcome me like family. My North Carolina yes, welcome me like family. My North Carolina home. My North Carolina home.
I love
Thank
that
you.
song.
We know that
Yeah.
song.
Aw, sweet.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. This was really great.
Yeah, Jamie, thanks for hosting.
Yeah. Let's do it again some other year when we can actually do it in person. It'll
Yeah.
be great.
I want to get a signed copy of your solo CD, and I want to watch you sign it.
Here when we can travel and
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Awesome. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. That was Leigh Jones and Late for the Train. Both amazing folk musicians. Leigh is over in Portland, Oregon. Late for the Train is somewhere in Marin. I'm not sure which of the two Marin spots you're at, but you're one of those spots.
My mom in Nevada.
There you go. Yeah, it's just cycling through the Marin spots.
you're in video bombing privileges by hosting us.
For sure. So you can find the music like we talked about at 5letterword band.com and at lateforthetrainband.com, and you can buy it, you can support it, you can buy merch and all the good things, stream it all the time. You can donate to them right now at paypal.me/socialdistancelive, and I'll split it up between them. Thank you so much, everybody. Please tune in on Sunday for the Billie Holiday cover show with Joshua Miller, as always, and also Stella Heath co-hosting. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be Sunday at 11, and Social Distance Live marches on with another spotlight on Thursday, which is going to be The Witch and the Wizard. So see you all again soon. Thank you so much. I will now awkwardly sign off. Here we go. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.